treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Broadcasting from the Kanowski-Bresney studios comes the radio medium Laura Lee Show.
I feel like you had to let him go.
Yes, it is. He was on life support.
You've taken on the burden for his passing. Is that true?
That is right.
There's something to do with a Barbie doll.
He used to stick the old school Barbie dolls in the cake.
Oh my God, you're giving me goosebumps right now.
The radio medium Laura Lee Show. Tune into your spirit every Tuesday at 4 p.m.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
You're tuned in to Money Matters Boston, 1120 AM WBNW. This is WBNW, 1120 AM, the Money Matters Radio Network. This is the Money Matters Radio Network, WBNW 1120 AM and W275CM FM, Concord, Boston, the Money Matters Radio Network.
Here at the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, we are committed to all students not only attending, but succeeding at school. Your presence is powerful. Share why you attend at doe.mass.edu.
Sponsored by the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education.
As a busy mom to 4 kids, my to-do list is full.
Trying to fit in exercise, eating right, and prioritizing self-care can feel next to impossible.
While we can't add more hours to the day, we do have a great resource to help.
Go Red for Women has easy tips, tools, and information to help you and your family live a healthier life.
So to all the moms, the aunts, the grandmothers, and amazing women out there doing it all,
visit goredforwomen.org/momlife today.
You take care of them, Go Red for Women will take care of you.
Hi, this is Chuck and Mike from the Armstrong Advisory Group, and our guide this month is titled Owning Real Estate in Retirement. Mike, when we talk about someone who might be considering a move from where they've lived pre-retirement to a new location, what are some of the main things they need to consider?
Yeah, I think that they need to focus on the costs first and foremost. I know a lot more goes into a decision like this than the costs alone, but what I find consistently is that folks in retirement overestimate how much they can save by moving and underestimate how much they're going to spend as they age to stay in their home. And so both of those factors are important when considering this big decision of, hey, do I consider downsizing or moving to another area?
One of the other things that we've seen over the past few years is that some of those estimates of costs can change quickly as well. I think about insurance in Florida as an example, property taxes in parts of the country. These are things that you need to account for, and that those costs might change as you go through retirement.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are easy to identify. Like, yeah, insurance costs have sure gone up a lot, and maybe they'll continue to do so. Electricity costs are another one. The others, though, are much more difficult to quantify. Like, I currently snow blow my driveway. How much longer will I be able to do that? How much longer will I be able to climb up the ladder and clean the gutters? Like, these are really complex questions that you need to very much think through as you age in your home.
Our guide is titled Owning Real Estate in Retirement, and there are 2 ways to request it. The first is by calling 800-393-4001. The second is by going to armstrongadvisory.com. Again, the guide is titled Owning Real Estate in Retirement, and you can request it at armstrongadvisory.com.
The proceeding was paid for by Armstrong Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. Nothing in the ad or in any Armstrong guide is specific financial, legal, or tax advice. Consult your own financial, tax, and estate planning advisors before making any investment decisions. Armstrong may contact you to offer investment advisory services.
Mark Varner is the CEO of Veterans Development Corporation. Mark faithfully served his country from 1981 to 1984, and we're thrilled to have him as a partner and presenting sponsor of the DAV 5K Boston. Mark comes from a proud military family that includes his father Victor and brother Timmy. Mark talks often about how serving his country was one of the greatest achievements of his life, and it's one of the main reasons he chooses to give back to this special community. Mark is honored to continue the legacy that his father started when he built Veterans Development Corporation. Working to help many disabled veterans and their families has become a lifelong goal for Mark, and it's why he's taken the time to fully support the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. You can join Mark and help our great American heroes today by making a donation to support the DAV Department of Massachusetts. Please visit dav5k.boston. That's dav5k.boston.
Estate planning doesn't have to be complicated. Cushing & Dolan's new guide, The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts, shows couples how to stay in control, avoid probate, and help protect what they've built for their family. Call 866-848-5699 right now and ask for your free copy today. That's 866-848-5699. Or request it online from our website, LegalExchangeShow.com. The proceeding was paid for and the views expressed are solely those of Cushing & Dolan. Cushing & Dolan and or Armstrong Advisory may contact you offering legal or investment services. Cushing & Dolan and Armstrong Advisory do not endorse each other and are not affiliated.
This is Michael Valila, Adjutant of the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. The DAV of Massachusetts has helped me and countless others adjust to civilian life through a variety of incredible programs. Through our local Veterans Assistance Program, we provide necessary services to veterans and their communities, such as food shopping, landscaping, and companionship, but we need your support. You can help by making a donation today. Please visit dav5k.boston. That's dav5k.boston.
The Financial Exchange is produced by Money Matters Radio and is hosted by employees of the Armstrong Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed are solely those of the hosts, do not reflect the opinions of Armstrong Advisory or anyone else. Investments can lose money. This program does not offer any specific financial or investment advice. Please consult your own financial, tax, and estate planning advisors before making any investment decisions. Armstrong Advisory and the advertisers heard on this program do not endorse each other or their services. Armstrong and Money Matters Radio do not compensate each other for referrals and are not affiliated. This is the Financial Exchange with Chuck Zodda and Mike Armstrong. Your exclusive look at business and financial news affecting your day, your city, your world. Stay informed and up to date about economic and market trends, plus breaking business news every day. The Financial Exchange is a proud partner of the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. Help us support our great American heroes by visiting dav5k.boston and making a donation today. This is the Financial Exchange with Chuck Zodda and Mike Armstrong.
Chuck, Mike, and Tucker with you here, and it is a Friday in November, and this weekend we got a big race that is happening in Boston, the DAV 5K, to raise money for the Massachusetts Department of the Disabled American Veterans, and we are today participating in our WRKO's affiliate, WRKO's DAV fundraiser in order to help raise money for disabled American veterans, which is it's a radiothon we've participated in for years at this point. I don't even know how many. I mean, I can't count, quite honestly, how many years we've participated, but it is something that we think is quite honestly important. These are people that have spent a portion of their life risking their life in order to provide us with the safety and security that we enjoy. They sacrificed years of their life and, came away with, some significant pain that many of them are still dealing with and disabilities that have inhibited them in being able to live the way that a lot of us can. And so this, I think, is the least that we can do in order to support those who have, given so much for our country. And so to donate in this radiothon, you can call 978-632-1985, or you can do it online at dav5k.boston. Again, that is 978-632-1985, or go to dav5k.boston. There is also an auction for a 6-course dinner for 8 people from Chef Paul Wahlberg that is out there. The dinner is at your home and with 7 of your closest friends and family. It includes food, drinks, everything. The current bid on that is at $8,000. And to increase that bid, you can again call 978-632-1985. and we'll be announcing the winner of that at the end of today's show. We've also got some guests that are going to be joining us for the Radiothon along the course of the day. We're going to be joined by Jim Blake from Eastern Propane, Bob Barlow from MBA Mortgage, Isaiah Moskowitz, the DAV's media manager and host of the Great American Heroes podcast, and Garrett Barton from Circle K is going to join us as well. So we got a nice slate of guests lined up. But again,
Mark Vonner from Veterans Development Corporation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mark's joining us too. So
the DAV of Massachusetts does a lot of important things that all the disabled American veterans groups across the country do. Also, a few unique things here in Massachusetts that really they were a first for in the nation. So yeah, we're excited to talk to these folks, learn a little bit more about their involvement with the DAV, and explain to all our listeners too what exactly it is the DAV does for those disabled veterans here in Massachusetts.
Again, to donate, 978-632-1985 or go to dav5k.boston. Mike, we had a little bit of a stock sell-off yesterday. Nothing huge, but, anytime you're down more than 1% in the S&P 500, you look at it and you go, okay, like it's not nothing, but it's not, historic volatility or anything like that. Continuing today, and this all really seems to be centered around tech. I mean, and this is kind of the story for the last week now, to be quite honest. Microsoft in the last week down more than 4%, NVIDIA down almost 10%, Oracle down 10%, Broadcom down 5%, Meta down 6%, and that's before you get to, the 20% that Meta fell after earnings. So, Meta's down almost 25% now from its high. Yeah. Tesla down 6% during that time. So the stocks that have lifted this market over the last 6 months now running into some tough sledding. And I mentioned on our show on whenever it was, hey, I think like there's the potential that this is, a shift in that narrative about AI this week. And again, only time's going to tell if that's actually the case. But it is continuing today with those stocks continuing to be the ones that are really lagging and dragging the index day. NVIDIA down 2.5%, Broadcom down 2%, Google down 2%, Meta down 2%, Tesla down 4%, Oracle down 3%. That's the stuff that is pulling things down right now.
So it's a Friday, and these fears over valuations didn't just come out of thin air. There's been commentary all week. Let's recap a few of the potential pieces that are contributing to this. I think would be a good use of our time. So earlier this week, I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday, I think it was Monday, we reported on the commentary from CEOs of Goldman Sachs, Capital Group, Morgan Stanley might have been in there as well, and all of them speaking about rich valuations in U.S. equities. And, specifically, I think it was Goldman CEO Solomon calling for a 10 to 20% market correction, saying that would be healthy for markets and normal. You also had, was it Michael Burry with the short positions that were announced?
Whatever. Michael Burry loves to announce short positions.
He loves to announce short positions. I don't think it's relevant, but
he made a cryptic post on X saying sometimes we see bubbles.
Yeah. So why does that matter? Well,
like when we're taking a bubble bath.
He famously shorted the market ahead of the Great Recession and was since then has been featured every time he announces a short
Right,
position.
you make one great trade and everyone thinks you're a genius. It's not to say that he's had a bad career or anything, but it's like, okay, let's put this in perspective here.
So we had those announcements and those slightly sank markets, although they rebounded, I think, the very next day and made up a lot of those losses that they had experienced.
Yeah, I mean, it was a choppy start to the week, and now it's looking like a not great end to the week, I think, is how things are setting up right now, with the obvious caveat that things can change dramatically in a short period of time here.
The stuff that we covered yesterday I also found interesting, right? We had the CEO of NVIDIA making comments about the AI race in China. We had the CFO of OpenAI making comments about the debt that's going to be needed to finance all this.
Asking for a government backstop to the point where Sam Altman, who's the CEO of OpenAI, had to write a several 100-word post on X basically saying, no, this isn't what we meant by a backstop, which of course makes you think it is what you meant by backstop.
Just didn't like the market reaction to it.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you've got some of these crosswinds out there. Satya Nadella saying earlier this week, the real bottleneck is not in compute, it's in electricity. So you've got this whole thing that's out there that has people kind of scratching their heads and wondering, hey, what gives? And then quite honestly, you had the chart of the year published yesterday by the Financial Times. I don't know if anyone listening subscribes to the Financial Times, but let me describe the chart. It's a blue line that's going up diagonally from left to right, which is what you like to see. And it's real GDP per capita. And it's showing you, like, okay, here's how real GDP per capita has increased. They then say, okay, here's like the path that could happen if just, AI boosts productivity by, 0.2% a year, which is not an unreasonable assumption, and says, okay, things could be better for, the world. It then has a dark red line that goes like vertically up that says, hey, if we reach the tech singularity, which is basically artificial general intelligence, like a super intelligence that can solve problems that humans haven't been able to, how do you produce, fusion power on Earth without blowing it up? Like all these things. You could end scarcity and real GDP per capita could go up 20 times in the next, decade.
Of course.
Well, okay, sure, that's a path. And then they got this pink line that goes all the way down to 0. And it says tech singularity, human extinction. Because the AGI could also decide, hey, all of you humans are the problem. Get out of here, man. And so this is a real chart from the Financial Times. It's wild if you haven't seen it. It's all over, social media. So just go on and be like Financial Times AI scarcity chart, and I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. But this is the kind of discourse that is now coming out this week. So we'll have to...
Again, the Financial Times is a very serious publication. You don't go to the Financial Times for...
No, Mike, they still print their paper on, brown paper just out of historical, stodginess.
It's like pink, isn't it?
Yeah, it's out of stodginess, this is who we've always been, and this is who we'll always be. And they're telling you, hey, here's the path where AI decides to eliminate all the humans. Oh, that's interesting. Let's take a quick break. When we return, as promised, we're going to be joined by Jim Bleak from Eastern Propane right after this, again, to donate to the DAV in support of disabled American veterans and the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. Call 978-632-1985 or go to dav5k.boston.
Missed one of our shows? Catch up anytime by asking your Alexa smart speaker to play The Financial Exchange. This is the Financial Exchange Radio Network. The U.S. Virgin Islands isn't just a postcard. It's alive with rhythm, culture, and celebration. This December through early January, St. Croix lights up with the Crucian Christmas Festival, a heritage carnival tradition dating back to the 1800s. There are incredible parades through Frederiksted as the festival village buzzes with live music, reggae, soca, and local island beats, as well as streets filled with the scent of authentic Caribbean flavors. Beyond the festival, there's St. Thomas, fresh with cruise hub energy, duty-free shopping, and panoramic views at Magens Bay. St. John is quiet, wild, and pure, where every trail and beach is its own adventure. Explore one island or all three. Each offers something unique, all with warm hospitality and that easy island vibe. Travel from New England could not be easier. There's no passport needed and no money to exchange. This holiday season, plan your escape and fall naturally in rhythm with the heartbeat of the islands. Visit usvi.com and book your trip today. That's visit usvi.com.
Hi, this is Chuck Zodda from the Armstrong Advisory Group. Your home is more than just a place to live. It's part of your story. In retirement, real estate can play a powerful role in how you manage your wealth and plan for the next generation. Passing property to family members isn't always easy. One child might want to keep the home while another prefers to sell it. Maintenance costs, taxes, and distance to healthcare services are all important factors that need to be considered, which is why having a clear plan can help prevent family stress while keeping your wishes front and center. Our new guide, Owning Real Estate in Retirement, is designed to help you fit your property into a long-term strategy that supports your life today and preserves what matters most for your future. Get your free copy right now by calling 800-393-4001. That's 800-393-4001 or request the guide at armstrongadvisory.com.
The proceeding was paid for by Armstrong Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. Nothing in the ad or in any Armstrong guide is specific financial, legal, or tax advice. Consult your own financial, tax, and estate planning advisors before making any investment decisions. Armstrong may contact you to offer investment advisory services. Services. Estate planning isn't just about taxes. It's about peace of mind. At Cushing & Dolan, we believe your plan should protect your family, not complicate your life. A joint revocable trust can help you do both. It lets you avoid probate, which means no court delays, no public filings, and no stress for your loved ones. Your estate stays private, and your family stays in control. Our new guide, The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts, also explains how a trust can protect your children's inheritance from creditors, divorce, or bad financial decisions down the road. This guide makes it easy to understand why a joint trust may be the smart move for your family's future. Call 866-848-5699 right now and ask for your free copy of The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts. That's 866-848-5699. Or request it online from our website, LegalExchangeShow.com. The proceeding was paid for and the views expressed are solely those of Cushing & Dolan. Cushing & Dolan and or Armstrong Advisory may contact you offering legal or investment services. Cushing & Dolan and Armstrong Advisory do not endorse each other and are not affiliated.
Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women,
taking the lives of 1 in 3.
That's more than all forms of cancer combined.
For too long, heart disease and stroke have taken the lives of the women we love.
But we're not giving up.
Because we have something better.
Stronger, more powerful.
We have each other.
When we come together and go red,
the more power we have against our greatest health threat.
Visit GoRedForWomen.org today to learn more.
It happens all over Massachusetts.
Can you tie my shoes?
In every home and every community.
Be careful on your bike.
Learning can happen anytime, anywhere.
We'll see you at practice this weekend.
And no matter how learning takes place in your family's life, DESE is there as your partner. The Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Never stop learning. Find out more at mass.gov/back-to-school.
Sponsored by the Massachusetts Department for Elementary and Secondary Education.
Find daily interviews and full shows of the Financial Exchange on our YouTube page. Like us on YouTube and get caught up on anything and everything you might have missed. This is the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
This segment of the Financial Exchange is powered by Circle K Convenience Stores. Circle K is now the official convenience store of the DAV Department of Massachusetts. On behalf of Circle K, thank you, veterans, for all you've done.
As promised, we are now joined by Jim Bleak. He is the regional manager for Eastern Propane. Jim, great to have you on with us today. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Chuck. It's a pleasure to be here.
Jim, can you tell us a little bit about your partnership with the DAV of Massachusetts?
I'd love to. We became partner with DAV of Massachusetts about 3 years ago. Previous to that, we've been supporting veterans organizations within the state, and we were trying to improve, frankly, where the money goes and make sure it was getting directly to veterans and stuff. And after about a year of looking around and talking to people, we were able to connect with the DAV Mass and put together a program with them because it's really great. 90% of everything that gets donated to them goes directly to the people that need the services, whether it be transportation, housing, mental health, occupational training is a big thing they're doing now, their food pantry, and, of course, the typical claims and benefits. And they encompassed everything. And again, 90% of everything that they collect in mass goes directly to the veterans. And that's the kind of company or kind of organization we wanted to be partnered with.
And I know that Eastern Propane has a long history of this connection to veterans. Can you tell us a little bit just about how that partnership with the DAV and other veterans causes has grown over time?
Well, we do have a long connection. Our family business started in 1932, and we actually started right in Danvers, Massachusetts, in a hardware store. And, of course, back during the war, we had folks that worked with the company that had to go, and even World War II. And during those times, if you had a business, they kept you home. So the family always wanted to do something to support the people, and we had, frankly, one of our leaders of the company was a POW in World War II, and he escaped and came back. So we've always felt a strong connection to our ability to serve people because so many people serve to give us that right.
One of the things that Eastern Propane does is you use your vehicles to support the DAV of Massachusetts. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that has worked for you?
Absolutely. What we've done is, we deliver fuel and comfort to people, and so what we started with one truck to see how the program would work, and a portion of every gallon of fuel that's delivered through that truck goes directly to DAV. And then we added a second truck, and this year we've added a third truck. That they're all, and these three trucks operate in different markets in Massachusetts, and they operate all year long, 12 months a year, because sometimes the business has seasonal needs, but we keep these trucks on the road all year. It spreads the word about DAV, and a portion of every gallon that goes through those trucks goes directly back to the DAV. Yeah.
Jim, you've also got, in addition to that, you have something called your Hometown Hero Season of Fuel Giveaway. I believe it's a program that Eastern Propane created in order to help veterans. Can you tell us a little bit about that program and how someone can get nominated for that program?
Absolutely. The Hometown Hero Season of Fuel Giveaway is a program that we do every winter season, where people are allowed to go on to Eastern.com, Hometown Hero Season of Fuel Giveaway, and nominate a veteran, and you can also nominate a police, fire, EMT, or active service member, and generally, they're people that have fallen on hard times, or a family that's having difficulty because somebody's overseas serving or something. Or I could say one of our last recipients, unfortunately, had picked up a disease while they were over in Afghanistan. And so you go in, you nominate that person through our website, and then a committee reviews all of the nominations, and that person will receive free heating for the season.
Jim, that sounds great. We really appreciate you joining us today. Appreciate the work that you and Eastern Propane do on behalf of the DAV. And thanks again for the time and for your effort in this cause.
Thank you. It's a great partnership. We're happy to be there. We're looking forward to the DAV 5K that's coming up tomorrow. We've got 51 of our team members that have volunteered and are participating out there tomorrow. So it's more than it's about service, and DAV gives that service. We want to provide them the support to do it.
Absolutely. It's a great thing. Jim, thanks again for the time today. That is Jim Blake, the regional manager for Eastern Propane. Again, to donate to the DAV in support, you can call 978-632-1985 or go to dav5k.boston. Again, 978-632-1985 or dav5k.boston. Mike, one of the things that is starting as of today, the FAA is restricting traffic to 40 major airports. We covered the list on our show yesterday. It's basically all the major airports in the United States and some supplemental ones.
Yep.
And so this is now in effect, and to this point, it looks like about 700 flights have been canceled. Expectations are that you could see as many as about 2,000 to 2,500 being canceled daily if this were to continue. And there's also the possibility that this expands further, this as the FAA tries to cope with lower staffing levels due to workers not getting paid.
Yeah, and so we'll see these flights get shut down. The airlines apparently are trying to focus on the shorter regional flights so that you have an alternative option to get between point A and point B. Problem there is a lot of these flight crews and pilots commute via those shorter regional flights, right? So I had a family member who flew for one of the major airlines, lived in Chicago, commuted to Detroit every time he needed to fly. Sure. That's the exact type of flight that they are trying to cancel or suspend here, and we will see, right? I mean, again, if this lasts a day or two, probably not a problem, but if the major airlines need to cancel between 2,000 and 4,000 flights a day, you can be sure there's going to be, reverberations throughout the industry as they struggle to get the other flights filled with staff.
Yeah, it certainly is something where these might be the cancellations that you see, but don't be surprised if there are other delays. And, just trying to get pilots and equipment to where you need them is challenging in these situations. Quick break. When we return, we've got Wall Street Watch and more guests for the DAV Radiothon.
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter @TFE Show. Breaking business news is always first, right here on the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
Hi, this is Chuck Zodda from the Armstrong Advisory Group. Your home is more than just a place to live. It's part of your story. In retirement, real estate can play a powerful role in how you manage your wealth and plan for the next generation. Passing property to family members isn't always easy. One child might want to keep the home while another prefers to sell it. Maintenance costs, taxes, and distance to healthcare services are all important factors that need to be considered, which is why having a clear plan can help prevent family stress while keeping your wishes front and center. Our new guide, Owning Real Estate in Retirement, is designed to help you fit your property into a long-term strategy that supports your life today and preserves what matters most for your future. Get your free copy right now by calling 800-393-4001. That's 800-393-4001, or request the guide at armstrongadvisory.com.
The proceeding was paid for by Armstrong Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. Nothing in the ad or in any Armstrong guide is specific financial, legal, or tax advice. Consult your own financial, tax, and estate planning advisors before making any investment decisions. Armstrong may contact you to offer investment advisory services.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-378-3818. 800-378-3818. 800-378-3818. That's 800-378-3818.
Mark Vonner is the CEO of Veterans Development Corporation. Mark is a career military man, having served for nearly 20 years, and we are so thrilled to have him and his company as a key partner and the presenting sponsor of the DAV 5K Boston. Mark comes from a proud military family, including his father Victor and his brother Timmy. Mark talks often about how serving his country was one of the greatest achievements of his life, and that's one of the key reasons that he chooses to give back to this special community. Mark is honored to continue his legacy that his father started when he built Veterans Development Corporation. Working to help many disabled veterans and their families has become a lifelong goal for Mark, and it's why he's taken the time to fully support the DAV Department of Massachusetts. You can join Mark Vonner and Veterans Development Corporation and help our great American heroes today by making a donation or becoming a sponsor. Simply visit dav5k.boston. That's dav5k.boston.
This is Tucker Silva of the Financial Exchange Show, and I'm joined today by estate planning attorney Todd Lutzke from the law firm of Cushing & Dolan with your Financial Exchange quick tip of the day. And today we're talking about joint revocable trusts. Todd, a lot of people think estate planning is complicated or something they can put off. Can you explain how a joint revocable trust can actually make things simpler for couples who just want to protect what they've built and keep things easy for their family?
Sure. Joint trusts are really so underutilized, but they're really the most important and easiest way to do planning. Many people think of two trusts, right? Splitting everything between a husband trust and a wife trust. Well, This already makes it simpler. If you have just one trust, you can both put your assets in the trust, whether you contribute the joint bank account or the joint brokerage account or the joint real estate and rental properties. It's easy. Just put it all into one trust and you're both trustees. So funding is simpler, operation is simpler, and most importantly, you can actually get a better result for moderate estates from an estate planning standpoint. Because on the first death, you get to cram down all the assets that are in the joint trust to get a step up in basis, whereas if you've separated the assets between the two trusts, you're only going to be able to cram down half as much. And if you do the planning right, you can actually use these trusts to get a double step up in basis when the surviving spouse dies.
Learn how you can avoid probate, eliminate estate taxes, protect your kids' inheritance, and keep your money in your family. Request this brand new guide from Cushing & Dolan. It's called The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts. Call 866-848-5699. That's 866-848-5699. Or you can request it from their website, legalexchangeshow.com.
The proceeding was paid for and the views expressed are solely those of Cushing & Dolan. Cushing & Dolan and or Armstrong Advisory may contact you offering legal or investment services. Cushing and Armstrong do not endorse each other and are not affiliated. Time now for Wall Street Watch. A complete look at what's moving markets so far today, right here on the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
Markets extending their losses as investors continue to show concern about high valuations around tech and AI. Right now, the Dow is down nearly 0.2% or 78 points lower. S&P 500 down over 0.2%. NASDAQ selling off over 1.2%. Russell 2000 is down about 0.8%. 10-year Treasury yield flat at the moment, now at 4.087%. And crude oil up about 0.4%, trading right below $60 a barrel. Tesla shares down over 2% after shareholders approved a $1 trillion pay package for CEO Elon Musk, but offered mixed support to the idea of the EV maker investing in his XAI ventures. Meanwhile, sports betting company DraftKings cut its annual sales outlook after reporting disappointing third quarter results. However, the stock is up 3%. Elsewhere, Airbnb posted a revenue beat for the previous quarter and lifted its fourth quarter revenue forecast. Despite that, shares are down 2%. Peloton swung to a surprise profit in the most recent quarter, sending that stock 8% higher. Opendoor sinking 7% after the property company reported a sharp drop in sales. Opendoor has seen some meme stock action recently. And shares in video game maker Take-Two Interactive falling over 8% after the company announced yet another delay to its highly anticipated Grand Theft Auto 6 game, now slated to be released November 19th, 2026. I'm Tucker Silva, and that is Wall Street Watch.
Joining us now is Bob Barlow. He's the president and owner of MBA Mortgage out of Braintree, Massachusetts. He's an Air Force veteran and DAV member, and joins us now on the line to talk a little bit about his company's partnership with the DAV. Bob, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, hi. Glad to be on.
So starting off here, I want to get to MBA Mortgage and its partnership with the DAV, but would you mind telling us a little bit about your own military service and your time with the Air Force?
Yeah, absolutely. I come from a family where my grandfather was in the military, my dad was in the military, my uncle was in the military, the whole 9 yards. So yep. When it came to be my time, I felt compelled to serve. I grew up that way.
Sure.
Always, community service, country, that kind of an upbringing. So, yep, my turn. I'm in. So I go in and. I spent a few years stateside, traveling and getting to see a lot of the country. The best parts of the country, Mississippi and Oklahoma sure. and Western Washington. All the places you want to go. But it was still a really great experience. And 10 years in, and you really realize but the people that you're working with is what it really becomes all about.
Sure.
More than mission, more than anything else, it's about the guys and girls that are with you when you deploy, that are in the tent, in the the proverbial foxhole next to you. So
of course,
when you leave, that kind of stays with you, and in the brotherhood and sisterhood that we will always share.
So, Bob, tell me a little bit about MBA Mortgage and how you got involved with the DAV of Massachusetts.
Yep. So MBA Mortgage is, well, we're a mortgage company, and it's something that myself and a previous partner, we started in 2005 because it was always the smartest thing to do to get into mortgages right before 2007. So we decided that that was a great time, and I guess because we just started in 7, we had the chutzpah to get through 2008, 2009.
Sure.
But anyways, right around when we started in 2005, my current partner, Matt Scott, and I were doing a presentation. I forget at which town, hotel lobby room, but we were doing one, and Matt meets Dan Stack, which I think we all know.
Yeah, he's sitting right in our lobby.
All right. Our former adjutant, but basically our DAV guy. So Matt meets Dan. Dan's doing a seminar for veterans in the same place. So he asked Matt, hey, why don't you come by and talk about VA loans? And so
that's how you guys got connected.
Matt does that, and that's it. And Matt was like, I want you to meet the owner, the veteran, and we met, and we started talking about how we could work together. And, Dan and I get to talking, and he's looking for us to help him out with some sponsorships with the golf tournament. So we're like, okay, we'll do the best we can. We're kind of a, 10-man shop, and don't know how much of a corporate sponsorship we could do. But this is what I can tell you I can do, Dan. We are a very good group of people of networking and getting the word out. So how about I do that? And I am very, very good at that. And so was Matt and our team. We're out there meeting business partners. We're out there talking with clients. So it was kind of an easy thing for us to do.
Well, Bob, your story really echoes and mirrors the stories of so many I've heard from, and it's all a little bit different, obviously, from a lot of different industries. But the story I consistently hear that everybody that partnerships with the DAV just very impressed by the work that they do and the impact that they have here in Massachusetts. Bob, I really appreciate you coming on the show today, talking a bit about your partnership, sharing a bit about your own service, and looking forward to this weekend in Castle Island in Boston. So, Bob Barlow, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Again, that's Bob Barlow. He's the president and owner of MBA Mortgage out of Braintree. He's an Air Force veteran and DAV member, and join us today to talk about their firm's partnership with the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. Just a reminder, folks, the auction for a 6-course dinner for 8 people from Chef Paul Wahlberg still open. You can place your bid by calling 978-632-1985. You can also make your donation at that same number or by visiting DAV5K 5k.boston, but we're proud to participate in WRKO's Radiothon to benefit the DAV of Massachusetts. You can donate and participate again by going to dav5k.boston or calling 978-632-1985. Quick break. We will be right back with Mark Vonner, the CEO of Veterans Development Corporation, and their partnership with DAV next on the Financial Exchange.
Breaking business news as it happens, only here on the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
Mark Vonner is the CEO of Veterans Development Corporation. Mark is a career military man, having served for nearly 20 years, and we are so thrilled to have him and his company as a key partner and the presenting sponsor of the DAV 5K Boston. Mark comes from a proud military family, including his father Victor and his brother Timmy. Mark talks often about how serving his country was one of the greatest achievements of his life, and that's one of the key reasons that he chooses to give back to this special community. Mark is honored to continue his legacy that his father started when he built Veterans Development Corporation. Working to help many disabled veterans and their families has become a lifelong goal for Mark, and it's why he's taken the time to fully support the DAV Department of Massachusetts. You can join Mark Vonner and Veterans Development Corporation and help our great American heroes today by making a donation or becoming a sponsor. Simply visit dav5k.boston. That's dav5k.boston.
The U.S. Virgin Islands isn't just a postcard. It's alive with rhythm, culture, and celebration. This December through early January, St. Croix lights up with the Crucian Christmas Festival, a heritage carnival tradition dating back to the 1800s. There are incredible parades through Frederiksted as the festival village buzzes with live music, reggae, soca, and local island beats, as well as streets filled with the scent of authentic Caribbean flavors. Beyond the festival, there's St. Thomas, fresh with cruise hub energy, duty-free shopping, and panoramic views at Maggins Bay. St. John is quiet, wild, and pure, where every trail and beach is its own adventure. Explore one island or all three. Each offers something unique, all with warm hospitality and that easy island vibe. Travel from New England could not be easier. There's no passport needed and no money to exchange. This holiday season, plan your escape and fall naturally in rhythm with the heartbeat of the islands. Visit usvi.com and book your trip today. That's visit usvi.com. Estate planning isn't just about taxes. It's about peace of mind. At Cushing & Dolan, we believe your plan should protect your family, not complicate your life. A joint revocable trust can help you do both. It lets you avoid probate, which means no court delays, no public filings, and no stress for your loved ones. Your estate stays private, and your family stays in control. Our new guide, The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts, also explains how a trust can protect your children's inheritance from creditors, divorce, or bad financial decisions down the road. This guide makes it easy to understand why a joint trust may be the smart move for your family's future. Call 866-848-5699 right now and ask for your free copy of The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts. That's 866-848-5699. Or request it online from our website, legalexchangeshow.com. The proceeding was paid for and the views expressed are solely those of Cushing & Dolan. Cushing & Dolan and or Armstrong Advisory may contact you offering legal or investment services. Cushing & Dolan and Armstrong Advisory do not endorse each other and are not affiliated.
Let's talk LDL. AKA bad cholesterol. The higher your LDL cholesterol, the higher your risk of a heart attack or stroke. Your health matters. Know your number. Talk to your doctor and get your cholesterol checked. And learn how to help lower your LDL bad cholesterol. Because your health is in your hands. Find out more at heart.org/LDL.
It happens all over Massachusetts.
Can you tie my shoes?
In every home and every community.
Be careful on your bike.
Learning can happen anytime, anywhere.
We'll see you at practice this weekend.
And no matter how learning takes place in your family's life, DESE is there as your partner. The Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Never stop learning. Find out more at mass.gov/back-to-school.
Sponsored by the Massachusetts Department for Elementary and Secondary Education.
The Financial Exchange streams live on YouTube. Like our page and stay up to date on breaking business news all morning long. This is the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Financial Exchange. If you're just joining us, we're participating today in WRKO's Radiothon to benefit the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. You can donate by calling 978-632-1985 or visiting dav5k.boston. But right now, I'm joined by both Dan Stack, CEO of the DAV of Massachusetts, as well as Mark Varner, the President and CEO of the Veterans Development Corporation. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I wanted to start off. I know, Mark, you've talked a bit about your firm's partnership with the DAV, but for those that haven't heard, talk to us a bit about that partnership and just how long and how you got involved with the Disabled American Veterans.
Okay, well, I met Dan through my brother, Tim, who was working for Dan as a National Service Officer. I don't know how many years now?
97.
1997,
so
okay.
I got involved after that as a sponsor for one of the golf tournaments. And from there, we just grew and grew and grew.
And for those listening, I mean, it's right in the name, but talk to us about what Veterans Development Corporation actually does and beyond the partnership with the DAV, just your involvement with veterans today.
Yeah, absolutely. We do a lot of construction work for the VA healthcare system. Throughout New England, Florida, and Washington, D.C. So we're doing a lot of renovation work for the hospitals.
So one of the things that really stuck with me that the DAV does and what of Massachusetts and what makes it truly unique is some of the housing initiatives that you guys have taken on over the course of the last several years. I know that you are the only Disabled American Veterans Department in the country to provide housing solutions for veterans. And from what I understand, you guys have a new project going on, and so whoever can take this one. But talk to us about that new project, that new initiative that you guys are doing, and I'm excited to learn about it. And you can just pull that right towards you. There you go.
Well, what we wanted to be able to do was take one of the buildings that we have. Perfect. We wanted to be able to take one of the buildings that we had at basically up in Gardner, Massachusetts, and we have a need for basically studio apartments for single veterans.
Okay.
On the campus up there, we have 22-bedroom condominiums that we give out to families, but we have the great need for basically single veterans to be housed, but permanent housing. So we were looking for studio apartments that could be built. Naturally, the first guy I called and turned to was Mark Varner.
Sure.
Said, Mark, how do we go about this? He's helped put together an entire team from architectural to everything that we need, and engineers, in order to try to get this project off the ground. And we are working with Mark and the state in order to try to come up with all the funding that we need for this. But it's going to be state-of-the-art. It's going to be every one of these studio apartments. The veteran will have their own kitchen, their own bathroom, their own, basically their living space, so that they too can utilize all of our services, and we'll try to work with them so that they can become not only independent living there, but if they wanted to, be independent living elsewhere after they've worked with us.
Dan and Mark, I mean, talk to us, again, for folks that are listening now and they're getting their first ever introduction to the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. What are the biggest needs of our veterans in the state that you guys are trying to serve? I know there's a lot of different initiatives you have, from transportation to other types of assistance, and clearly the housing thing is a growing demand piece, especially in today's housing market. But talk to us about just the work that the DAV does on a day-to-day basis, because there's a lot of folks that I'm sure aren't familiar.
The biggest program that we have that we help veterans out with is literally navigating the VA system, whether it be the healthcare system or whether it be the VA benefit system. That is the major job that we do on a daily basis, and that's where we serve the most veterans in the state of Massachusetts. We have service officers all across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. They help initiate the claims. And then we have our staff of paralegally trained representatives at the JFK Federal Building. They're known as National Service Officers, which give the best advice possible and actually take a claim before the VA to make sure that veteran gets the compensation that he's deserving with. We have all kinds of veterans, volunteers that work within the VA medical system that help not only take claims, but they also help transportation. They also help with basically our local Veterans Assistant Program, helping veterans that may need their yard raked, for crying out loud, whatever it is. But Mark talks about his brother Timmy, which I hired in '97. Timmy, unfortunately, was a paratrooper and his chute didn't open. And God bless him, he's suffering this day with some very severe disabilities. And that's how Mark and I got to know each other.
Yeah.
But one of the things I want to say about basically the Vonner family is not only did they serve this country, right from their father Victor to Timothy to Mark, but every day they give back to the VA, whether it's veterans, whether it's trying to rebuild the VA medical health care system in the most efficient way possible, to what Mark does personally out of his own pocket to help the DAV, and what his company does. I'll be honest with you, there was a time that we didn't have anything. I called Mark. He covered our expenses for 1 year in order that I could keep this organization going. And today, because of what he has done, we're in a much better spot that we can continue on to help veterans.
Mark, I'm going to turn to you on this one because I could speak to it, but I think you could do it more justice. Tomorrow is the actual 5K in Boston. You've attended many of them. I've attended a few of them. I find it to be an inspirational and just a really fun event. Can you tell everybody that's listening a little bit about the event tomorrow and what folks can expect, even if they're not running, if they want to, show up and check out the event? It's always a highlight of the year for me.
Oh, absolutely. It is one of the most amazing days that I can say I'm part of in my career as a construction contractor. But as a person and a veteran, this is an amazing day where all these people come together for one day and we all meet and we collaborate together. Yeah. Everybody is happy. Everybody wants to be there. It's just one of those days that I think if you haven't been there, try to make it this year because you'll walk away a different person.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's tomorrow, Castle Island in Boston. Race has been sold out for months now, as it always does. It's a hugely popular event. Over 1,000 people. 1,500 people running. Food, events, all sorts of really great stuff, and just inspirational stuff too. And so it's a fantastic event every year. Mark Vonner, CEO of Veterans Development Corporation, as well as Dan Stack, the CEO of the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts, joining us on the program today. Appreciate you coming in, both of you. Always great to see you and excited about the event tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike, and we truly appreciate what the Financial Exchange does in regards to keeping the word out there about what the DAV can do for veterans. Thank you so much.
Thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate it, and see you tomorrow. Taking a look here at markets, we continue to be in not a full-on sell-off mode. It doesn't seem to be accelerating dramatically, but we are seeing markets in negative territory, with the NASDAQ leading the way down, off 1.6%, S&P off 0.9%. Once again, all day today, we are supporting the DAV of Massachusetts, and we hope you can too. To donate, you can call 978-632-1985. You can also visit dav5k.boston. And again, there is an auction ongoing for a 6-course dinner for 8 people from Chef Paul Wahlberg. It's still open. You can still bid on it, but it will be closing in the next hour. Again, to make your bid or to support the DAV, call up 978-632-1985, and excited to announce the winner of that at the end of today's show. Quick break, a lot more from the Financial Exchange next.
Here at the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, we are committed to all students not only attending, but succeeding at school. Your presence is powerful. Share why you attend at doe.mass.edu.
Sponsored by the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education.
Sometimes we know what's next. Other times, it's impossible to know. Life can change in an instant. Don't be caught standing by the next time someone's heart stops. Knowing CPR gives you the ability to act and takes you from bystander to lifesaver. CPR is a life-saving skill. Join the nation of lifesavers today by learning CPR at heart.org/nation. National support for CPR education provided by Elevance Health Foundation.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-378-3818. 800-378-3818. 800-378-3818. That's 800-378-3818.
Did you outgrow your timeshare and now you want out? But you can't. You can't sell it, and you can't get out of the contract. Imagine trying to get out of your mortgage. That's what a timeshare is. You can't just call up the bank and say, I don't want to pay it anymore. But we may be able to help you do just that. Listen, a timeshare maybe for you once was a great thing, but now you don't use it much. And they are not easy to get rid of. Plus, you do have to pay for it every month. Qualified timeshare owners can get out of their contract legally and permanently without ruining your credit or even filing bankruptcy. And imagine no more mortgage payment or fees. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline qualification line now. It's free to learn more.
800-455-7967. 800-455-7967. 800-455-7967. That's 800-455-7967. Paid for by Timeshare Defense.
This is the Money Matters Radio Network, WBNW 1120 AM and W275 CM FM. Concord, Boston, the Money Matters Radio Network. Estate planning doesn't have to be complicated. Cushing & Dolan's new guide, The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts, shows couples how to stay in control, avoid probate, and help protect what they've built for their family. Call 866-848-5699 right now and ask for your free copy today. That's 866-848-5699. Or request it online from our website, legalexchangeshow.com. The proceeding was paid for and the views expressed are solely those of Cushing & Dolan. Cushing & Dolan and or Armstrong Advisory may contact you offering legal or investment services. Cushing & Dolan and Armstrong Advisory do not endorse each other and are not affiliated.
This is Michael Valila, Adjutant of the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. The DAV of Massachusetts has helped me and countless others adjust to civilian life through a variety of incredible programs. Through our local Veterans Assistance Program, we provide necessary services to veterans and their communities, such as food shopping, landscaping, and companionship, but we need your support. You can help by making a donation today. Please visit dav5k.boston. That's dav5k.boston.
Mark Vonner is the CEO of Veterans Development Corporation. His dedication to serving our veterans has made an incredible impact on his family and employees. And he is so proud to be the presenting sponsor of the DAV 5K Boston.
This is Brittany Vonner. I'm a registered nurse who is now working as an assistant project manager at Veterans Development Corporation. Working with my father, Mark, has been an incredibly rewarding experience. Our company is dedicated to serving VA hospitals and veteran communities. We don't just build facilities, we build environments that support healing, resilience, and family. We are so proud to see our work directly impact the lives of veterans and the professionals who care for them. This rich history is why we care so much about supporting great organizations such as the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts and the work they do to care for our veterans.
Join Veterans Development Corporation in thanking our great American heroes. Please visit dav5k.boston to show your support today.
The U.S. Virgin Islands isn't just a postcard. It's alive with rhythm, culture, and celebration. This December through early January, St. Croix lights up with the Crucian Christmas Festival, a heritage carnival tradition dating back to the 1800s. There are incredible parades through Frederiksted as the festival village buzzes with live music, reggae, soca, and local island beats, as well as streets filled with the scent of authentic Caribbean flavors. Beyond the festival, there's St. Thomas, fresh with cruise hub energy, duty-free shopping, and panoramic views at Magens Bay. St. John is quiet, wild, and pure, where every trail and beach is its own adventure. Explore one island or all three. Each offers something unique, all with warm hospitality and that easy island vibe. Travel from New England could not be easier. There's no passport needed and no money to exchange. This holiday season, plan your escape and fall naturally in rhythm with the heartbeat of the islands. Visit usvi.com and book your trip today. That's visit usvi.com.
Hi, this is Chuck and Mike from the Armstrong Advisory Group, and our guide this month is titled Owning Real Estate in Retirement. Mike, for someone who wants to own multiple properties in retirement, maybe a warm weather and a summer property, what do you end up doing as far as, trying to negotiate and navigate that decision?
Well, it's a lot of questions to answer. How much time are we going to spend in one place versus another? Where am I going to be a resident? If I am, leaving between two different homes, where do I feel comfortable being a resident? I get this question all the time. How much will I get in tax savings, for instance, by moving to a no income tax state? And what ends up happening, though, sometimes is they make that decision based on income tax and don't realize where a lot of the cost savings comes, which is estate taxes. And so if I'm going to own multiple properties, where do I intend on actually making my residency? And will I be able to commit to that for the long term is an important one.
Another piece there, look, at a certain point in everyone's life, that travel and moving between two places and even maintaining two places becomes challenging. When do you typically see those kinds of conversations being navigated?
For most folks, I see it in the 70s and early 80s. That's when this stuff starts to change for a lot of people, but ultimately it's customized to each individual, and you might be able to afford one scenario if you're willing to rent out your property for a period of time. Sure. It really comes down to customizing for your situation.
Our guide this month is titled Owning Real Estate in Retirement, and you can request it by calling 800-393-4001 or going to armstrongadvisory.com. That guide again is titled Owning Real Estate in Retirement, and you can request it by calling 800-393-4001.
The proceeding was paid for by Armstrong Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. Nothing in the ad or in any Armstrong guide is specific financial, legal, or tax advice. Consult your own financial, tax, and estate planning advisors before making any investment decisions. Armstrong may contact you to offer investment advisory services. The Financial Exchange is produced by Money Matters Radio and is hosted by employees of the Armstrong Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed are solely those of the hosts, do not reflect the opinions of Armstrong Advisory or anyone else. Investments can lose money. This program does not offer any specific financial or investment advice. Please consult your own financial, tax, and estate planning advisors before making any investment decisions. Armstrong Advisory and the advertisers heard on this program do not endorse each other or their services. Armstrong and Money Matters Radio do not compensate each other for referrals and are not affiliated. This is the Financial Exchange with Chuck Zodda and Mike Armstrong. Your exclusive look at business and financial news affecting your day, your city, your world. Stay informed and up to date about economic and market trends, plus breaking business news every day. The Financial Exchange is a proud partner of the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. Help us support our great American heroes by visiting dav5k.boston and making a donation today. This is the Financial Exchange with Chuck Zodda and Mike Armstrong.
Chuck, Mike, and Tucker with you here, and today we are participating in a radiothon in support of the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. Our Boston affiliate, WRKO, puts this event on every single year, and we are happy to participate to raise money for a great cause to help support those who have come back to the United States after combat and have, some struggles that they are dealing with in doing so. And so, again, this is the WRKO Radiothon to benefit the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. To donate, You can call 978-632-1985 or visit dav5k.boston. That DAV5K race is taking place tomorrow. I will be participating. I will be there. And I always look forward to it because it is just a fantastic event. And we got some great weather this year. It's going to be, it looks like 60 degrees and sunny, which is about as good as you can get for Boston in November. Again, to make a donation, you can call 978-632-1985. We also do have a couple guests that are going to be joining us this hour as well. Isaiah Moskowitz, the DAV's media manager and host of the Great American Heroes podcast, will be coming on. And then Garrett Barton from Circle K, he is a franchise business consultant there, will be joining us to discuss as well.
By the way, just got to note that $86,000 has been raised so far.
Fantastic. So we're up to $86,000. If you want to add to that total, again, you can call 978-632-1985 or go to dav5k.boston. Mike, where are we on our stack? Here we go. What one bleak data point tells us about the labor market?
Not much.
Not much. But here's the thing.
Well, the data point, let's start off with, it's the Challenger Gray and Christmas data that reports that companies have announced 153,000 job cuts in October, nearly tripled September's number, and also is the biggest October number that they've seen in, I don't know, a long time. I can't remember. Early 2000s was the answer.
I think since 2010. It doesn't tell us anything because this is not a forward-looking data series. It's not something where if you see an increase one month, it means there's going to be an increase the next. It's not a good number because it does tell you, hey, there were a large number of layoffs in the month of October, but it's not a predictive series. It's not a trending series, and so it's not one that I think is in any way useful in building a framework for what comes next. What I will say, it's been increasingly more difficult to find labor market indicators that are throwing off positive signals in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And so, again, we're not getting the monthly jobs report now, but if you look at Indeed's openings trend, if you look at the ADP Small Business Hiring Index, if you go and look at the weekly jobless claims that are coming out at the state level, there's nothing bad there, but there's no meaningful improvement on that front. And so it's something where we're continuing to see a slowing labor market, and the danger there is at some point a slowing labor market has the potential to create some problems with consumption. Normally it's the other way around. Like normally the thing that you see, consumption is slowing, and so companies start laying off people. That hasn't been the case this year. It's been kind of backwards. It's a really funky situation that we're seeing. The case that you can make is consumption for the bottom 50 to 60% of households has slowed. And so maybe the layoffs that we're seeing are in response to that, even though the top 10 to 20% of households by income are still spending robustly. And so maybe that's why aggregate spending growth is still, good, but you're not seeing it spread across all areas. And so there are a lot of companies that might have weak demand because they focus on selling products to that bottom 50 to 60% of consumers.
Local company, just so long as we're talking about layoffs, TripAdvisor laying off 20% of its workforce amid major business reorg. Numbers-wise, this is not a big number. I think this company employs about 2,800 employees globally.
600 employees is not nothing.
It's not nothing, but we've had some 10, 15,000 person layoff announcements recently, and TripAdvisor falling into that same category this week.
It's interesting to me on one level in that travel demand has remained really strong.
It has. I wonder how much of this is, so much has been written about, look at AI and how easily I'm able to build a travel plan with artificial intelligence. I did so in part with my most recent trip.
And you didn't come back.
Very mixed success.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I asked
I haven't asked you about this yet.
I asked it to plan out some hikes for me while we were in Europe. And it was clearly capable of identifying mountains, but was not terribly good at understanding
I need a trail?
That you need a trail to get between said mountains.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was, again, we ended up using one of the suggestions that it came up with, but, had we followed it without actually looking at a map, you wouldn't have been able to get there from here.
That's a problem.
Yeah. So
interesting.
User beware. I've also heard that it's helpful for looking up flight information. I have not found it to be so.
Why would one find it helpful for looking up flight information?
I feel like Google Flights is pretty good at that, as are many other companies. And people have talked about, it's really better at detecting. No, I have not found it to be useful whatsoever for the purpose of tracking flight prices and getting good deals.
Like, you just intuitively think about, okay, it's a large language model. It's good at putting words together. Why would it be good at getting you the best flight pricing?
Yeah.
Don't
have an answer.
That doesn't compute. So, labor market does seem to be weakening. Do we reach a tipping point? I don't know. I mean, here's what I will say. It feels like we're kind of on a knife's edge here. And the other thing is, if you look at the labor market data under the hood, there are parts of it that are more concerning to me than you would think at first blush. I mean, what's going on right now with youth unemployment, just as an example, really problematic.
Yep.
You've got long-term unemployment moving up as well. So there's just, there's some things out there that are not signs of health. And the other piece, these are not things that get helped by the Fed cutting interest rates.
No.
It's not stuff that is resolved if the Fed's like, hey, we're going to, start cutting interest rates more heavily. It doesn't fix those things.
Right. I mean, look, the Fed has been cutting interest rates. Arguably, the hiking of rates damages a lot of that bottom rung of the K, if we're using the K-shaped recovery story, right? You drive up mortgage rates, credit card rates, and all sorts of loan rates, while also bumping up savings rates for some consumers. That bottom half of the K, even with rates having come down a little bit, haven't seen mortgage rates decline, haven't seen auto loan rates decline. If you're in that top portion of that K-shaped recovery, you might not need the auto loan, but you probably have the savings to put into a CD.
I mean, I would say that the changes in interest rates, it's most heavily impacting that middle 40%.
Sure.
Like the bottom,
yeah, sure.
the top 30% of wage earners and households by net worth
aren't forced to borrow.
No, it's a situation where there's more flexibility on that side to begin with. The bottom 30% of wage earners and asset owners, they don't have the money to buy cars and homes anyways.
Sure. Yep.
That middle 40% is the one that I think is most heavily impacted by any changes there.
Car loans, mortgages, all of those things are things they're participating in.
Let's take a quick break here. When we return, we're going to be joined by Isaiah Moskowitz, the DAV media manager and host of the Great American Heroes podcast. Again, we're in the middle of the WRKO Radiothon to benefit the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. To donate, 978-632-1985 is the number, or go to dav5k.boston. Isaiah Moskowitz joins us after this.
Find daily interviews and full shows of the Financial Exchange on our YouTube page. Subscribe to our page and get caught up on anything and everything you might have missed. This is the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
Hi, this is Chuck Zodda from the Armstrong Advisory Group. Your home is more than just a place to live. It's part of your story. In retirement, real estate can play a powerful role in how you manage your wealth and plan for the next generation. Passing property to family members isn't always easy. One child might want to keep the home while another prefers to sell it. Maintenance costs, taxes, and distance to healthcare services are all important factors that need to be considered, which is why having a clear plan can help prevent family stress while keeping your wishes front and center. Our new guide, Owning Real Estate in Retirement, is designed to help you fit your property into a long-term strategy that supports your life today and preserves what matters most for your future. Get your free copy right now by calling 800-393-4001. That's 800-393-4001, or request the guide at armstrongadvisory.com.
The proceeding was paid for by Armstrong Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. Nothing in the ad or in any Armstrong guide is specific financial, legal, or tax advice. Consult your own financial, tax, and estate planning advisors before making any investment decisions. Armstrong may contact you to offer investment advisory services. The U.S. Virgin Islands isn't just a postcard. It's alive with rhythm, culture, and celebration. This December through early January, St. Croix lights up with the Crucian Christmas Festival, a heritage carnival tradition dating back to the 1800s. There are incredible parades through Frederiksted as the festival village buzzes with live music, reggae, soca, and local island beats, as well as streets filled with the scent of authentic Caribbean flavors. Beyond the festival, there's St. Thomas, fresh with cruise hub energy, duty-free shopping, and panoramic views at Maggins Bay. St. John is quiet, wild, and pure, where every trail and beach is its own adventure. Explore one island or all three. Each offers something unique, all with warm hospitality and that easy island vibe. Travel from New England could not be easier. There's no passport needed and no money to exchange. This holiday season, plan your escape and fall naturally in rhythm with the heartbeat of the islands. Visit usvi.com and book your trip today. That's visit usvi.com. Estate planning isn't just about taxes. It's about peace of mind. At Cushing & Dolan, we believe your plan should protect your family, not complicate your life. A joint revocable trust can help you do both. It lets you avoid probate, which means no court delays, no public filings, and no stress for your loved ones. Your estate stays private, and your family stays in control. Our new guide, The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts, also explains how a trust can protect your children's inheritance from creditors, divorce, or bad financial decisions down the road. This guide makes it easy to understand why a joint trust may be the smart move for your family's future. Call 866-848-5699 right now and ask for your free copy of The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts. That's 866-848-5699. Or request it online from our website, LegalExchangeShow.com. The proceeding was paid for and the views expressed are solely those of Cushing & Dolan. Cushing & Dolan and/or Armstrong Advisory may contact you offering legal or investment services. Cushing & Dolan and Armstrong Advisory do not endorse each other and are not affiliated.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-965-7987. 800-965-7987. 800-965-7987. That's 800-965-7987. Paid for by Term Direct.
The Financial Exchange is now available every day from 11 to noon on SiriusXM's Business Radio Channel 132. Stay informed about the latest from Wall Street, fiscal policy, and breaking business news every day. The Financial Exchange is live on SiriusXM's Business Radio Channel 132. This is the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
This segment of the Financial Exchange is powered by Circle K Convenience Stores. Circle K is now the official convenience store of the DAV Department of Massachusetts. On behalf of Circle K, thank you, veterans, for all that you've done.
Joining us now is Isaiah Moskowitz. He's the DAV media manager, host of the Great American Heroes podcast. Joins us now to talk about his partnership with the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. Isaiah, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me. You guys are doing a great job today. Thank you for all your support for the DAV Department of Mass.
So I want to talk first about the podcast, Great American Heroes podcast. I've appeared on it and want to talk about just what it is, who you feature, who you talk to, and how people can listen to it.
Sure. Listen, years of working on the radio, doing shows like yourself, when I started working with the DAV years and years ago, as time went on, I was like, well, why don't we do a podcast where we can talk to veterans? Sure. We can talk to partners. We can talk to sponsors, friends, and family. The whole point is just like with your radio show, right? Your job is to get the financial word out there to the world and make people understand the world of finance and business. Same exact thing with the podcast here. We want to do the very best we can to educate people about what the DAV Department of Massachusetts does for veterans and for families. And it's been a nice run. We've got some amazing guests and people that come on. They tell tremendous stories. And you understand radio better than anybody. You're a host. It's all about storytelling.
Sure. Any of those particular storytelling experiences stick with you? I mean, I'm sure there's been a lot of great ones, but anything you'd care to share?
Sure. There are so many. I've and Paul's going to hate me on this because he hates being brought to the forefront, but Paul Wahlberg is such a great supporter of the DAV Department of Massachusetts. He's so humble, never wants the recognition, but he's a humble man who just likes to get on and do very good things for the veterans. And when you hear people like that and you look at the success they have, and they're rooted back to the simple fact that we should be doing this stuff for our veterans. Okay. And that's, he always tells great stories. There have been so many veterans on the Great American Heroes podcast that, I didn't serve this country, but I'll tell you what, listening to the stories and being able to share the stories of what they went through in combat, what they've gone through when they come home, and what the DAV Massachusetts does to help those folks. That'll stick with you. Those stories stick with you. So you can find all the episodes that Mike's talking about at davma.org, davma.org, and you can just drop down the podcast page, and they're all right there.
So Isaiah, talk to us a little bit about your history with the DAV of Massachusetts. I know it goes back several years. You've been doing the podcast for years, but how did you get started with the organization, and what about it is meaningful to you?
After about 25 years of working in radio, I started my own marketing firm, and I was doing a lot of business with the Veterans Administration in New England. So VA New England Healthcare, I was helping them, with radio and television and sports marketing, so we could get the word out there to veterans and families about the health benefits that veterans have available to them. And that's a very important message that moved over into the DAV. One of my friends who worked at the VA said, Isaiah, I want you to meet Dan Stack over at the DAV Department of Mass. They're trying to reach, a younger audience. They're trying to reach more veterans. And I sat with Dan and said, look, this is what I do for the VA. And the two go hand in hand, because if a veteran's looking for their benefits, they have to go and deal with the VA. And that's not an easy ask. It's a tough thing it's a tough wall to climb over, but that's what the DAV Massachusetts does. They help veterans. They sit down, they help you with your paperwork. They help you with everything you may need, whether it's a ride to a doctor's appointment, whether it's housing. So that's where it all started. And when I sat with them, that might have been about 7 years ago, Mike. And I'll tell you what, it's grown, and it's going to continue to grow. And let me just say, it's growing because of people like you. It's growing because of the Financial Exchange Radio Network. And congratulations on the XM channel 132. That just takes this show and puts it global, as it should be. You guys do great work, and you've been such a huge supporter of ours. And I really, really appreciate that. So I wanted to highlight you guys before we kept going on.
Isaiah, thank you very much. I mean, look, we all have these personal stories about our experience with the DAV, and maybe you can share a bit of yours. I mean, for me, I continue to think about the complexity of all the VA benefits, mainly because, I work as a financial advisor on my day job, and I have seen people struggle with this exact challenge before. What else sticks out to you just in terms of the work that DAV of Massachusetts is doing these days?
People have to understand, and people don't. People know what they know, and people don't see all the pieces to every puzzle they're looking at, right? The DAV Massachusetts does everything for veterans. So think about a veteran who's gone to war, is coming home from war. Think about what that man or woman is going to need. The reacclimation into life. Let's be serious. How we get back to going from what they saw, where they saw it, to coming back here to the States and getting a job, having housing, making sure you're okay mentally and physically. There are so many aspects. What health benefits do you have? The work that the DAV Massachusetts does is just it's so incredible for the veteran, and it's so incredible for the veteran family. Again, I didn't serve this country, but as a civilian, it's the least I can do to try to help, with the media side of things. Again, we've all been in media. I've been in media for a long time. I'll do everything I can do to try to help spread that word. And every day and every year we do this, every day I do this, I see different things, and it makes me really proud to be involved in it. It's the least I can do as a civilian.
Isaiah Moskowitz, he is the media manager for the DAV of Massachusetts, host of the Great American Heroes podcast, and joins us today to talk about his work and support for the disabled American veterans of Massachusetts. Isaiah, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Mike, we appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Once again, folks, today we are supporting the WRKO Radiothon to benefit the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. To donate, you can call 978-632-1985. The auction for a 6-course dinner for 8 people from Chef Paul Wahlberg is still open. You can bid on that by calling that same number, 978-632-1985. You can also learn more and donate at dav5k.boston.
Mike, I want to talk a little bit about Opendoor.
Yes, the real estate platform?
Yeah.
Got it.
They reported earnings yesterday.
And now they're an AI company?
They called themselves an AI company,
Yep.
which, like,
Sure.
ooh, like, you don't even have A or I in your name, so questionable.
Again, what
at
do they
best.
do? They
open doors.
Yeah, they're door openers.
The online real estate platform.
They basically help, like, facilitate transactions online. They're like a real estate buying platform, is my understanding.
Okay.
Again, like, take it for, I don't know, I've never used their platform. But here's what I do know. The stock opened today down around 25%. Now, this is one of those meme stocks that, you know, has all kinds of... So it's rallied back to be almost flat over the course of the day. And so, ultimately, like, I don't know what you take of this other than, hey, like, you look at the actual earnings. Revenue fell by about a third for the quarter year over year. So that's not, you know, great. They reported a net loss of $90 million after booking a $78 million one last year, so the loss got bigger.
Yep. But AI, Chuck.
But AI. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, but AI.
Bringing the latest financial news straight to your radio every day. It's the Financial Exchange on the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
Hi, this is Chuck Zodda from the Armstrong Advisory Group. Your home is more than just a place to live. It's part of your story. In retirement, real estate can play a powerful role in how you manage your wealth and plan for the next generation. Passing property to family members isn't always easy. One child might want to keep the home while another prefers to sell it. Maintenance costs, taxes, and distance to healthcare services are all important factors that need to be considered, which is why having a clear plan can help prevent family stress while keeping your wishes front and center. Our new guide, Owning Real Estate in Retirement, is designed to help you fit your property into a long-term strategy that supports your life today and preserves what matters most for your future. Get your free copy right now by calling 800-393-4001. That's 800-393-4001, or request the guide at armstrongadvisory.com.
The proceeding was paid for by Armstrong Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. Nothing in the ad or in any Armstrong guide is specific financial, legal, or tax advice. Consult your own financial, tax, and estate planning advisors before making any investment decisions. Armstrong may contact you to offer investment advisory services.
It happens all over Massachusetts.
Can you tie my shoes?
In every home and every community.
Be careful on your bike.
Learning can happen anytime, anywhere.
We'll see you at practice this weekend.
And no matter how learning takes place in your family's life, DESE is there as your partner. The Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Never stop learning. Find out more at mass.gov/back-to-school.
Sponsored by the Massachusetts Department for Elementary and Secondary Education.
As a busy mom to 4 kids, my to-do list is full.
Trying to fit in exercise, eating right, and prioritizing self-care can feel next to impossible.
While we can't add more hours to the day, we do have a great resource to help.
Go Red for Women has easy tips, tools, and information to help you and your family live a healthier life.
So to all the moms, the aunts, grandmothers, and amazing women out there doing it all,
visit goredforwomen.org/momlife today.
You take care of them, Go Red for Women will take care of you.
The U.S. Virgin Islands isn't just a postcard. It's alive with rhythm, culture, and celebration. This December through early January, St. Croix lights up with the Crucian Christmas Festival, a heritage carnival tradition dating back to the 1800s. There are incredible parades through Frederiksted as the festival village buzzes with live music, reggae, soca, and local island beats, as well as streets filled with the scent of authentic Caribbean flavors. Beyond the festival, there's St. Thomas, fresh with cruise hub energy, duty-free shopping, and panoramic views at Maggins Bay. St. John is quiet, wild, and pure, where every trail and beach is its own adventure. Explore one island or all three. Each offers something unique, all with warm hospitality and that easy island vibe. Travel from New England could not be easier. There's no passport needed and no money to exchange. This holiday season, plan your escape and fall naturally in rhythm with the heartbeat of the islands. Visit usvi.com and book your trip today. That's visit usvi.com.
This is Tucker Silva of the Financial Exchange Show, and I'm joined today by estate planning attorney Todd Lutzke from the law firm of Cushing & Dolan with your Financial Exchange quick tip of the day. And today we're talking about joint revocable trusts. Todd, for couples who already have wills in place, why might it make sense to look at a joint revocable trust, and what can it do that a simple will can't?
Yeah, this is important because a lot of people believe that wills are an estate plan, when really a will is a won't. I've said it many times. It won't avoid probate. It won't reduce estate taxes. It won't protect assets from the nursing home. You're going to need some kind of trust to do that. So that's the most important reason why a will is not enough. Then you need to think about, well, what kind of trust are you doing? Well, in this case, we're talking about joint trusts. And boy, folks, these are so underutilized, but they are really powerful for moderate estates. And today, moderate estates are, below 15 million with the exemption as high as it is. So you can actually make it easier for folks. Put all the assets into this trust. You can jointly put your brokerage accounts and real estate in the trust. It's simple. You don't have to split assets between two trusts. Ease of operation, and it's going to reduce estate taxes, avoid probate, and provide a bloodline plan for your family, even to the extent where if you want to protect it from future creditors and divorces of the kids, you can do that in the trust as well. And the will won't do any of that.
Cushing & Dolan have been helping families like yours for more than 40 years now. Learn how you can avoid probate, eliminate estate taxes, protect your kids' inheritance, and keep your money in your family. Request this brand new guide from Cushing & Dolan called The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts. Call 866-848-5699. That's 866-848-5699, or you can request it from their website, legalexchangeshow.com.
The proceeding was paid for and the views expressed are solely those of Cushing & Dolan. Cushing & Dolan and or Armstrong Advisory may contact you offering legal or investment services. Cushing and Armstrong do not endorse each other and are not affiliated. Time now for Wall Street Watch. A complete look at what's moving markets so far today, right here on the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
Well, the sell-off is accelerating on Wall Street as investors continue to show concerns about high valuations in the tech and AI space. Right now, the Dow is down 0.2%, S&P 500 down over 1% lower. NASDAQ selling off 1.8% or 423 points. Russell 2000 is down 1.3%. 10-year Treasury yield down 2 basis points at 4.069%. And crude oil up about 0.5%, trading just below $60 a barrel. Tesla shares down 4% after shareholders approved a $1 trillion pay package for CEO Elon Musk, but offered mixed support to the idea of the EV maker investing in his XAI ventures. Meanwhile, sports betting company DraftKings cut its annual sales outlook after reporting disappointing third quarter results. However, that stock is up over 0.5%. Elsewhere, Airbnb posted a revenue beat for the previous quarter and lifted its fourth quarter revenue forecast. Despite that, shares are down over 2%, and Ford is up over 1% after the Wall Street Journal reported the automaker's executives are in active discussions about scrapping the EV version of its Ford F-150 pickup, or the Lightning. Ford has racked up $13 billion in EV losses since 2023. I'm Tucker Silva, and that is Wall Street Watch.
As promised, we are now joined by Garrett Barton from Circle K. Garrett is a franchise business consultant there with their worldwide franchise group. He is also a Navy veteran. Garrett, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for your service.
Hey, I appreciate it so very much. It's an honor and privilege to be here, and I'm very excited for the 5K race tomorrow.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it myself. I know you've been with Circle K for 11 years now, and I just learned today, actually, that Circle K is now the official convenience store of the DAV of Massachusetts. How did that partnership end up coming about?
You know, it's been a number of years in the making. Zaya Moskowitz, who just had on, and my boss, our regional director, Pete Radzowitz, have been working together for a number of years, helping out at the golf tournaments and the 5K. We've been supplying some items like water and things of that nature over a number of years. And with Pete and I talking, we decided to take it to the next level. So we went to our marketing department and to our VPs and said, look, you know what? This is something that we really need to be involved in. And being a DAV myself, it really hits home. So we were able to take it up a notch. And now Circle K is donating $30,000 to the DAV Massachusetts. So it's a huge honor, huge privilege, and it's something that's been a number of years in the making. And we're so happy and proud to be a part of this organization.
Garrett, you mentioned that you have experience with the DAV yourself. I know that you joined the Navy back in 1983 and served through 1988. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about your time in the Navy?
Yeah, it was something that I'm very proud to have done. My father was a Korean War veteran, so it was something in the family. My brother-in-law was also in the Marines, so it's something that we've all been indoctrinated into. And I wanted to go into something that was going to be very advanced as far as going to college and things of that nature. So I really took advantage of the VA benefits and the VA bill to be able to go to college and get my degree through the VA. Now, I started off in San Diego, then got transferred up to Great Lakes, Illinois, doing advanced electronics. And mine was a 6-year mandatory enlistment since I did 2 years of schooling. Then I transferred over to Virginia Beach and finished my last missile radar system school and was assigned to the USS Barney, DDG-6, guided missile destroyer, out of Norfolk, Virginia. And during that time, of course, you go on a number of cruises and things of that nature, but I'd blown out my knee. And I went through a year's therapy with that through the VA hospital in Portsmouth, Virginia. And unfortunately, since I'm not fit for the fleet because of my knee, I was not fit for the Navy, and I was medically discharged under honorable conditions. So with that, I got involved with the DAV a whole lot more. They paid for all my schooling. They paid for all my surgeries. Everything I've had to have done, the VA was there for me. I've been to 16 VA hospitals throughout the country, as I've lived in 16 different states and been to all 50, and have never, ever had a bad experience at a VA hospital. And, you know, a shout out goes out to all the nurses, the assistants, the helpers, and the doctors at the VA hospitals. They've all been tremendous, and I'm very proud of them all and very proud to be part of the organization.
Garrett, I understand that you also play a leading role for all the veterans that work for Circle K regarding the National Brave organization. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about that organization and your involvement in that program?
Yeah, the Brave organization is a group of veterans within the Circle K organization where we have our own little group to talk about veteran ideas, things how we can promote the veterans and the DAV, how we can get out to other veterans within the community as well, within our own community outside our local geographical area, as well as within Circle K itself. So it's a spotlight where we do articles. We have quarterly newsletters. We actually just sent out the Red Poppy pin to all of our personnel throughout the franchise group to help support the organization and bring awareness to it. And so many veterans, as Isaiah was mentioning earlier, that they just don't have a clue on all the benefits and opportunities that are there for them and how important it is for them to reach out to the VA. As Isaiah had stated earlier, you know, it's not necessarily an easy situation, but the payoff is tremendous, what they can do for you and help you. And so many things I never had a clue on. You know, I notified my father, you know, when he was getting older about the VA and things that they could do, as well as my brother-in-law. And I talked to people all over the country about this. Everywhere I go, I traveled everywhere. And I get up with all the different veterans and let them know what's going on. You know, I have veterans come back to me and say, Garrett, thank you so much for giving me this information. You were absolutely great, and I appreciate it so much because I had no idea what I was eligible for until I went and asked. So it's a great honor, and I'm so happy that I'm able to be a part of it with Circle K and as a DAV.
Well, Garrett, thank you again for the time today. Thank you for your service, and thank you for the support of the DAV Department of Massachusetts. Again, we really appreciate you joining us, and just thank you so much for everything that you're doing on behalf of veterans.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the time, and for all you veterans out there, if you don't know, go out and talk to somebody.
Garrett Barton from Circle K talking about his work with the DAV Department of Massachusetts. Again, to donate to the WRKO Radiothon to benefit the Disabled Americans Veteran Department of Massachusetts. Call 978-632-1985. That number again is 978-632-1985. Or you can visit dav5k.boston. Quick break here. When we come back, a little bit of Stack Roulette.
Hear the Financial Exchange every day from 11 to noon on SiriusXM's Business Radio Channel 132. Keep it here for the latest business and financial news and the trends on Wall Street. The Financial Exchange is now live on SiriusXM's Business Radio Channel 132. This is the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
We're proud to announce that Circle K is now the official convenience store of the DAV Department of Massachusetts. At Circle K, supporting those who bravely served our country isn't just a commitment, it's a heartfelt mission. Circle K is honored to stand with the DAV Department of Massachusetts to ensure that veterans receive the care and recognition they deserve. If you'd like to do your part, please visit davma.org. Thank you for standing with Circle K and the DAV Department of Massachusetts, and thank you, veterans, for all you've done.
Estate planning doesn't have to be complicated. Cushing & Dolan's new guide, The Simplicity of Joint Revocable Trusts, shows couples how to stay in control, avoid probate, and help protect what they've built for their family. Call 866-848-5699 right now and ask for your free copy today. That's 866-848-5699. Or request it online from our website, legalexchangeshow.com. The proceeding was paid for and the views expressed are solely those of Cushing & Dolan. Cushing & Dolan and or Armstrong Advisory may contact you offering legal or investment services. Cushing & Dolan and Armstrong Advisory do not endorse each other and are not affiliated. The U.S. Virgin Islands isn't just a postcard. It's alive with rhythm, culture, and celebration. This December through early January, St. Croix lights up with the Crucian Christmas Festival, a heritage carnival tradition dating back to the 1800s. There are incredible parades through Frederiksted as the festival village buzzes with live music, reggae, soca, and local island beats, as well as streets filled with the scent of authentic Caribbean flavors. Beyond the festival, there's St. Thomas, fresh with cruise hub energy, duty-free shopping, and panoramic views at Maggins Bay. St. John is quiet, wild, and pure, where every trail and beach is its own adventure. Explore one island or all three. Each offers something unique, all with warm hospitality and that easy island vibe. Travel from New England could not be easier. There's no passport needed and no money to exchange. This holiday season, plan your escape and fall naturally in rhythm with the heartbeat of the islands. Visit usvi.com and book your trip today. That's visit usvi.com.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams, your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-378-3818. 800-378-3818. 800-378-3818. That's 800-378-3818.
Environmental nonprofit Ocean River Institute is working with communities to tackle climate change with nature-based solutions that feature slowing water down and building more soil with grasses and plants. Research indicates that people acting in their own neighborhoods can build an inch of soil in a year and slow sea level rise down by as much as 25%. Please visit oceanriver.org for more information on opportunities to make a difference and go the distance for savvy stewardship of a greener and bluer planet Earth.
Let's talk LDL. AKA bad cholesterol. The higher your LDL cholesterol, the higher your risk of a heart attack or stroke. Your health matters. Know your number. Talk to your doctor and get your cholesterol checked. and learn how to help lower your LDL bad cholesterol. Because your health is in your hands. Find out more at heart.org/LDL.
The Financial Exchange streams live on YouTube. Subscribe to our page and stay up to date on breaking business news all morning long. This is the Financial Exchange Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
This segment of the Financial Exchange is brought to you by the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Tourism. Your next incredible vacation is a click away, and if you act fast, you could be on St. Croix to experience their Crucian Christmas Festival taking place this December through early January. Discover the magic of this long-standing tradition with incredible food, music, and entertainment, or just go soak up the sun, stroll along white sand beaches, and feel the rhythm of the heartbeat of the islands. The USVI is America's Caribbean paradise. Plan your escape now at visitusvi.com. That's visitusvi.com.
All right, we got some stuff to talk about for Stack Roulette. First, Wall Street Journal exclusive. Ford considers scrapping electric version of F-150 truck. Remember, at one point, they said they had like 750,000 reservations for this.
Didn't they call this like the Model T of the era?
They're now selling about 1,500 of these a month, so if you do the math out, that's about 18,000 a year.
Pretty close to 750,000.
Not good demand. Okay, my guess is that they probably could get by with like 3 to 4 times that much. Like you're selling like 75,000 of these. You can't make money selling $20,000 units of a pickup truck. It's just not going to work. And so I think there are 2 questions on this. The first is, does this mean anything for other electric pickup trucks, namely the Cybertruck and the Rivian R1? The second is, doesn't mean anything more broadly for EVs as a whole.
I take more about the EVs as a whole, but when I think about why somebody buys a pickup truck, granted, there are a lot of people that drive a pickup truck to their office job every single day.
Yes.
But I think at least part of the justification on there is I do want the flexibility if I'm going away for the weekend that I can tow my RV.
I got my boat towed behind it or whatever, yeah.
And that is just not practical with an EV, especially in a third of the country where it's cold all the time.
Or in like the parts of the country where, it's our show's based in New England, to everyone listening.
Yeah.
The states get bigger when you get away from New England. I've realized this over time. Like
Yes.
you go through New England and you're like, wow, I just went through all 6 states in one day. You get to Texas, you're like, where's the other end of it? You know, it's just it's not feasible. And so I think where I'm currently standing on the EV side is the low-hanging fruit is gone. Anyone who wanted an EV basically has one now, and everything else is just picking up along the margins. There's not much left there. The next shoe to fall is going to be the introduction of solid-state batteries, which is perpetually 3 to 4 years away. I keep hearing that. 5 years ago, Toyota was like, yeah, we'll have it by the middle of the decade. Today, they're like, yeah, we'll have it by the end of the decade. The promise of solid-state batteries is the energy density is like 4 or 5 times what you get from conventional lithium-ion batteries. And so because of that, you can do one of 2 things. Either A, use a battery pack that's like a third the size, get the weight way down, and you still have slightly better range. Or, hey, here's a 1,000-mile range in an EV. You don't have to have range anxiety because unless you're literally trying to drive across the country in a single pass.
Trip?
Yes.
That.
I don't know why that was difficult.
Well, no, not a trip, like without like stopping.
Until then, better and better.
That's not you don't need more than 1,000 miles of range. No one has a 1,000-mile commute.
Frankly, until then, better and better EVs or hybrids are what's going to dominate.
Hybrids and plug-in hybrids are the place to be, in my opinion.
And specifically the one that I keep talking about this, and we still do not have one. I think it's coming in 2026. But the
E-Rev.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, extended range electric vehicle. It's got the gas thing that powers the battery that then powers the car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I think Dodge is rolling out the first one, but again, it's a pickup truck. I just want a small Tesla-like vehicle that runs an EV with a gas generator on it.
But that's what you want.
Maybe nobody else does, yeah.
I mean, you want some things.
Yeah, I drive a minivan.
You drive a
so
minivan.
My tastes may not reflect the greater public's.
Right. I have a Subaru Outback. You and I are not. We're
not
not
the average Texas man.
No, we're not good proxies for what most people want in cars.
Fine. Okay. We have to cover Meta, right?
I wanted to hold that till Monday.
Sure.
Just because I think.
All right. So once again, Meta's doing some really garbage stuff, and we'll tell you more about it on Monday.
Yeah,
what else did you want to get to?
There's another story on OpenAI that's related that we'll have to cover as well.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to cover this piece from Bloomberg. It's titled "Cash is Not King, It's Cringe." A survey of Gen Z consumers find that 53% use physical cash only as a last resort, and 29% believe that people who pay with cash are cringe.
So
for those of you who are not Gen Zers, cringe is the Gen Z adoption of cringeworthy.
Or embarrassing or...
Cringeworthy, like,
yeah.
ew, like...
Yeah.
That face you make when you're when you're watching something like really awkward on a reality TV show and you're just like, not gonna work. So here's the thing. I do think there's something interesting in that younger generations, and look, I'm a proud, mature millennial now, having, gone through that period where I was an avocado toast eater for a while. And there is an interesting juxtaposition in that if you talk to basically Gen X and older, what you find is that if they don't have cash in their wallet,
they feel naked.
If you talk to millennials and younger, if they have cash in their wallet, it's like, ooh, found money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at this.
The only time I have cash in my pocket or when I discover it in a pair of jeans that I didn't realize was still there because I don't even have an idea of why I have, because I have to pay the guy that runs my hockey skate with 20s.
Same. When I ran my, men's league soccer team, the refs only took cash payments.
Yeah.
So I had to have cash at all times.
Yeah. Wait until Gen Z gets addicted to scratch tickets. Then they're going to realize that they need cash.
Why do you need scratch tickets if you got gambling on your phone?
That's true. You don't.
Yeah. Like, what's...
Gamble all my money away on my
scratch tickets on phones now, too, right? Isn't that a thing?
Whatever those apps are, like the courier apps and stuff like that.
I've heard lottery apps out there.
They've got these courier apps, which it's wild. It's basically you pay the money on the app, and then someone goes out and physically buys the ticket for you, and you basically are trusting them that they're not going to take your jackpot. Just kind of wild to me. Because, let's be 100% honest, Mike. If you get a winning lottery I guess you wouldn't know if it's winning until after, so there's nothing to trust. Because you probably have to snap a picture of it and send it back to the person who bought it.
Right. So,
because if you had the winning ticket, aren't you going to, sit on it? Human nature is, hey, there's $1.5 billion in my hands. Gosh. So, anyways, cash is not king, it's cringe. Look, I'm a big believer, the demise of cash has been predicted forever. I'm not saying that we're going to use more cash in the future, but I don't think it's ever going to go away for a large number of reasons.
The big question to me is, can we get transaction fees down for cashless transactions? Because, again, the restaurant that I go to once a week for lunch, offering a 3% discount in cash because they probably pay 2 to 3% in credit card fees.
And the margins for Visa and Amex and MasterCard are not thin.
And I would never do it, but maybe that's, I don't know what Venmo charges businesses. It's probably more than 1%. So, yeah, all of these payment processors are still a fair bit of money. And that's the next big question. Can they get that stuff down?
Yeah, it's a big one. Folks, as we've been doing all day, we are in the middle of our DAV radiothon for our affiliate WRKO to benefit the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. Mike, I actually put the phone number somewhere else. Do you happen to have it?
I do. It's right here. It is 978-632-1985.
So again, that is the number to call to donate to the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts, 978-632-1985. As we wrap things up, S&P now off 80 points, almost 1.25%. NASDAQ down about 2%. Dow off about 0.75%. So another tough day in markets. that are reckoning with, hey, is the AI trade running out of steam? We don't know the answer yet, but there are those questions being asked by markets today, and they're going to look for some answers. Quick break for the entire weekend. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you Monday.